So in the interest of time, I will move on to say just a few words about the model development. Again, consistent with what Professor Al-Mazroui said, making these models more sophisticated to say something about this next season, increasing their resolution to say something about your country and your region is really key to the success. Bringing that global knowledge to the local level is absolutely essential to decision makers. Once again, cooperation among disciplines, oceanographers, ecologists, atmospheric scientists is absolutely essential. And then working with the scientists in the region to have the observations, to validate, to verify how good are these models is absolutely essential. Otherwise, people will not have confidence in these model results. We really must have the regional scientists with the regional, local knowledge to validate and verify the utility and usefulness of these models. We were talking about the seasonal prediction. This is something that is important to you, to the region, and this is a science that is #1 priority for WCRP, and we believe this should be a major focus for the center in the near term, and we can help. For example, this illustrates the absolute role, essential role of hydrology, soil moisture, in seasonal prediction. Without it, you cannot have reliable prediction. Of course, where you are, your climate is influenced both by the sea as well as by the land. Both of them are significant contributors to the formation of the climate and weather over the region, but this is an area that clearly your Center of Excellence can make progress and provide some knowledge that is useful to agriculture, water resources, to fisheries, to marine sciences and management of resources. We are focusing as #2 priority on being able to predict the climate on a decadal timescale. This is the science at its infancy, just beginning, because the subject of predicting the climate on 1 decade or 10 years in advance is very difficult, very challenging, but it has tremendous potential. All of the establishments, the infrastructure, the roads, transportation, they all depend this kind of information when you invest in building roads or dams or big infrastructure. It's important to know, are we going to get more extreme floods or less? And having that advanced information would really help serve the society greatly. These are examples of that we are really making progress. We can now, with some success, explain the natural variability on a decadal timescale. We know that the oceans are absolutely important, critical in the decadal prediction, especially the deep ocean, because the oceans are, again, is the memory of the climate system. And all in all, these are intended to illustrate that the science of climate prediction on decadal timescale is just beginning, and it's something that could really benefit this region and your country as well. For example, being able to say something about the number of high-intensity tropical storm or cyclones or hurricanes in the region. We can say, you know, this is a major area of research for the decadal prediction, and therefore that's the benefit derived from this. And then Dr. Al-Mazroui said that we need to bring all this global knowledge down to the region and to the country level, and for which we need to have the tools. And this is, again, an area that your Center of Excellence can play a major role, not only for Saudi Arabia, but for the entire Arabian Peninsula area. And this is an illustration of how the global community organizing itself to do this type of science, to explain, for example, what is happening to the precipitation over Africa. We made tremendous progress over the past 2 years. The top panels are observations, the bottom ones are models. You can see that the models are getting more realistic to explain the monsoonal system over the western part of Africa. we're building confidence that we can do this reliably for Africa, and hopefully we would like to extend that to other regions of the world. I was really pleased to see this illustration in Dr. Al-Mazroui's presentation as well, that once again, the science and observations are the foundation, but unless we make that knowledge available to decision makers, we have missed a great opportunity. So this is fantastic to see that your Center of Excellence is making delivery of information and knowledge to decision makers, practitioners, is a major objective for the program. The World Climate Conference 3 that took place last year decided to build a system like this and call it Global Framework for Climate Services. That has a national component. You can do this at the national level. It has a regional and it has a global component. And they have invited the World Climate Research Program to be the research engine for this effort. And once again, that would be a fantastic opportunity for us to work with your Center of Excellence. And again, I want to repeat myself already 3 times that the role of universities in training and developing the next generation of scientists is absolutely essential to the success of this enterprise. So this is my summary slide. Hopefully, I'm sorry that it's taken so long to explain what WCRP does, but you see that there is a purpose to the program. We focus on excellence in science, but make every effort to make that knowledge available to decision makers. But all of this is done through international cooperation and coordination with a major role by the academic institutions and educational institutions such as King Abdulaziz University. Thank you very much for it.
Maybe we have some questions, please.
Thank you, Dr. Asad, for the presentation. All the data and all the research is going now about data for hundreds of years of data. How about the relationship between sun and the earth?
Yes, that was part of the energy budget slide that I showed you. It's a major area of focus for us. As a matter of fact, the only records of sun's variability that exists.
Eccentricity, I mean.
Oh, the eccentricity,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. That is, the paleoclimate component of that is a major area of focus for us. As a matter of fact, next month, we have a major conference in southern part of France focused on that particular aspect. Again, we're trying to look at the historical record all the way back as far as we can make, on thousands of years, based on paleo records, to learn from that. In Central and South America, when we take a look at the paleo records at the regional level, we are looking to see where the monsoonal systems or the ENSO events were as strong as they are today, 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. Again, those paleo records are absolutely essential as well. So that is also a dimension of the research. Again, because we are a research program, we are trying to explain and use all means available to us to understand and explain the phenomena. We do not advocate any policies or any part of regulations. Our job is to provide that scientific knowledge objectively. And the only one requirement is that all scientists involved must publish their results in the open literature and to be available for anybody to use it. Therefore, the observations used for the research as well as the research results are openly available for anybody to come and examine and look at them without any restrictions. That's the only principle for participation in the WCRP program.
Can you introduce yourself first?
Yes, Faisal Al-Jawad, I think we met
Yes, I remember in Reading, yes,
yeah,
and the World Summit. Yes.
So what has happened since then? Did they agree on having a World Center with high
Yes.
resolution
Yes.
and high speed performance computer.
Thank you. Dr. Jawad was referring to a World Modeling Summit that WCRB could sponsor in 2008 in Reading, and all the world researchers, Professor Kang was one of the individuals who actually organized that. Really, I'm very pleased to see him here and being a member of the faculty at King Abdulaziz research faculty here. So the three decisions were made in terms of the scientific foci. You see that the seasonal, decadal, and centennial timescale research is progressing. On the subject of computational capability, your question is that, yes, there is a proposal in Switzerland, and the foundation has been established, and the model that they're using to create a public-private partnership to establish such a center. But that center will make its computational capabilities available to the national laboratories for the routine production of simulations. In other words, everybody agreed that having national capabilities is absolutely essential. The international center cannot replace the national capabilities. It would be a complement to the national capabilities. But that work is progressing. But as I said, I was really pleased to see that King Abdulaziz University has decided to invest in supercomputing capability, because that's absolutely an essential tool that the climate modeling requires.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ghazi. Our last speaker is, in fact, Professor Insek Kang. Professor Insek Kang is actually a meteorologist from BSc, MSc, and PhD. He was the chairman of the project department in Seoul National University. He was the director of the Center of Excellence for Environmental System in Korea for 9 years. He published from that center more than 50 publications in highly impact factor journals. The model of the one that we are trying to develop here is really based on that development in Korea. So we are now focusing in developing it further, so it will be new models, inshallah. So we would like to welcome Professor Insek Kang.
Thank you, Dr. Manzo. I'm very pleased to be here as an affiliated scientist and professor in King Abdulaziz University. I'm very much and I'm working with the center to develop climate model here and prediction system. Today I'm going to talk about mainly climate modeling. If I have some time, I'll probably touch on prediction. But I will talk about climate modeling mostly. The content is background and basic concept of climate model and current state of global climate modeling in the international society. And we are working on high resolution climate model, and I will introduce high resolution climate model and how we apply this climate model prediction results to application sectors, and what is the dimension that we are going to work on the international cooperation of the center. The background is, as you can see, the precipitation intensity. In the previous presentation showed that precipitation intensity is rising, even though precipitation amount is not much changed. As you can see, precipitation intensity all increases as this index is positive. So intensity is all increased. And dry days, which is drought. Drought days is also increasing, as you can see these positive numbers. Some of dry days is decreasing, but mostly increasing. And we are here. So precipitation intensity is increasing, and drought